Evening, folks. We're on Asheron's Call tonight. At least I think we are. Yeah, we seem to be alright. Okay, what am I doing tonight? Trying to gather imbue salvage so I can get some weapons made. So we're going to go back to our favorite little hunting spot. Might have to restart the stream, I was tinkering again. We shall see. Actually, I'm going to do that right now before anybody gets here, because I can tell I'm going to need to. Okay, bear with me just a second, I'll be right back. And I should be back. Okay, there we go, no more interruptions. Let's get to killing. Looking for the rending salvage. Black sapphire, or not black sapphire, black I don't know. I forget what it's called. Red garnet. Not really too worried about iron and steel right now. I have plenty. Yeah. Would go to a dungeon, an Ulthoid dungeon or something like that, but the spawn rates are just too high. Good for leveling, not good when you're trying to get salvage together. So, we will stay here. Jet, black garnet, all these things. And we just made this, so let's see how well it does. That's kind of nice. Lightning rending. Made it right before I went live. And the banished axe. Nothing. After a while, you just kind of can tell by looking at it whether it's worth looking at or not. Banished Olthoi. Oh, this freaking thing. I hate killing these things. They take so long to kill. Not hard to kill, they take a long time. Nothing does damage to them. I forgot to grab a coffee. Dagnabbit. Dagnabbit. Hey, what's going on, Tracker? Yes, sir. I need to get on here more often. I really do. I do enjoy it. Just a lot of people don't enjoy watching it. It's just, it's just me in a field beating up bad guys. For the most part. Oh, thank you, kid. And that's why she's the best girlfriend ever. Red Jade. I'm just going to kill everything. I don't care what it is. Everything's got to go. Because it could drop salvage. Imbue salvage. That's what we're looking for. This is the maintenance part of Asheron's Call that people don't like to stream, but I do. What is that? Opal. Don't need opal. Because you don't get a true picture of a game when all you see are people doing raids and dungeons and whatnot. It's all that stuff you do between the raiding and the dungeons that determines whether or not you're going to want to play the game. Just killing it to free up the spawn point. Now also my secondary goal is to get his magics up so he can self-buff. Need to start getting on that. Oh, excuse me. Come on, monkeys. And again, we're only looking for salvageable goods. I already got my acid rending 325, so I don't really need to worry about that. And I got my lightning rending 325. It's not the best, but it'll do. Whoa. Let's finish up this spawn. Oh, the wrong weapon in hand. Derp. Come on. I'm gonna try that crystal golem. I don't like killing them. They're a pain in the ass. Not really worth the effort. But we'll see how it goes. What are we gonna use on them? You can pretty much use any rending on them. Or no, not rending. It's not rending. You want to... yeah. We'll see how this goes. Man, it's not going to go well. No, that's better. See what I mean? They're such a pain in the ass. You can't debuff them either. Will you please stop? We'll just chop them down. This is why I don't like fighting them. They're a pain in the ass. I gotta raise my health too. It's basically a whole lot of work for a whole lot of nothing. I do need mahogany. Kabuton, I'm glad they're here. I like the Kabutons, the show helmets. Lots of banished critters up here. $453. Well, that's kind of alright. Oh, what's my wiring? Still wearing the Path Warden gauntlets. Good lord. Need to upgrade those. If I can get the Noble without the other two, I'll be a happy guy. Nothing. I don't even know what the other Holtoi are weak to. Tumrock Taskmaster. Alright. I've got a bow guy that I've been neglecting too. got access to my other account today thanks to Zeus. I forgot the login. I remember the password, but I couldn't remember the login. So fortunately he was able to get that for me, so I got my mules back, hence the title. Nope. The one that's killing me is Sunstone. Having a heck of a time getting my hands on Sunstone because it's not until the next tier of bad guys. Sunstone, White Sapphire, Bludgeon Rending, and Armor Rending. Yeah, he's got the drop rates tweaked a little bit. Help people get their salvage together and whatnot. It's a virgin server just a couple months ago. Nothing on it. He plans on dialing it back eventually, but the biggest problem we ran into right now is everybody macroed their characters to max level, and now they don't have anything to do. I'm going to enjoy every minute that I have access to this. Yeah, it does. It does. Well, the only reason you would even want to go to a dungeon now is just for pure leveling. The spawn rates in the dungeons are so high you can't even loot before the respawn happens. So you go to the dungeons for leveling, you go overland for salvaging. Downside to that is when you're fighting overland, you have to buff so many more things. You have to be buffed for all the elements and all the physicals. You have to have multiple weapons buffed. Whereas in a dungeon, you can just buff and focus on the monsters that are in the dungeon, like a Tusker dungeon or an Ulthoi dungeon or whatever. So, but I really don't mind. I gotta get at least if I can get to 6s, if I can cast 6s, I'll be happy. Oh, banished Tomb Rock way down there. Come up here, fella. With 6s, I can at least start exploring the world, and that's an upgrade over the Town Crier. What does lightning do to these guys? Oh, much better. Doing so hot tonight for some reason. Banish Manugit. I like hunting overland too. It's just because you see neat things, come across neat stuff. Another one of those. That's many of the banished weapons at this point. I just vendor most of them. 9 minutes left on the buff. You'll go through streaks, and it's not like coded that way or anything like that. It just seems to happen that way. You go through streaks where you get good drops and then not so good drops. And, but you just take the good with the bad. Where I should go is up to the plateau on Morello Sail. Such a pain in the butt to get there. I wonder if you can tie to the portal. Black Garnet, that's one of them. Black Garnet is Pierce Rending. What was that? 1 and 3? No, not good enough. Not good enough. Nebulous Golem Frost. Should actually just go to Morello Sail. That would make sense. On our coordination. Have we killed a Banderling yet? Banished? Or otherwise? Manglers and Maulers are just retarded. Red Garnet's Fire Ending. There we go. That's starting to kick up a little bit. Lightning rending. Now we got time for one more. Then we'll have to go back and get rebuffed. Well, I'm just using this lightning rending on everything. Seems to work really good. And we got Vanderling Mauler. Uh-oh, I see a fragment. We gotta kill the fragment. Oh, I thought I cast some kind of miner on it. That's the only reason I was worried about it. Hell, it's just fancy underwear now. Ivory, hematite. And that's it. Alright, we're gonna go get, we got ourselves buffed. We're gonna go up to Nydi's castle this next time. Some better level mobs up there. Basically the same, just a little better. Gotta do that Bandit Hill quest too at some point. On my sword dude. Pierce rending is always awkward on unarmed because their piercing weapon also does slashing weapon if you do anything above minimum attack. Yeah, minimum attack. Guitar. If you do anything above the minimum attack, then it only does slashing. 215, 264, that's better. Why am I not using that? Why will it not let me use that? Level 75, that's why. Head over to Cragstone, unload some of this. I'm just clearing out my bags. Getting everything all nice and tidy. I hate throwing things away. I do. Even silly little trophy items. Cragstone takes care of most of them. You got translator, ivory crafter, wing collector, leather crafter. Pretty much everything you need. It's a fiddly game, Asheron's Call. You're always fiddling with things, always mucking about. And I like that. It appeals to me. You're always doing something. There's very little downtime, which very much appeals to me. Do I even care about these? No, I don't. I really don't. I'll get more. Why did I even keep that? Major fletching prowess. Apparently I need that for something. Oh good, you sell big trade notes. That makes me happy. What? Oh, helps you click on the right thing. Rent is currently being waived on cottages because of some little glitchy thing involved in the upkeep. So it's a good time to get a house. Okay, I'll be right back in just a second. I'm gonna top off my coffee and then we're gonna go kill. Sorry about that. I'm back. Tonight's special treat is Toffee Fay. Not very easy to find anymore. Most of the candies I like just aren't easy to find anymore. So it keeps me from eating too much, I guess. Okay. And we're heading to Nidisa. I need to get off my lazy ass and run out to Fort Teth eventually. Kick it up a notch. I want to get geared up before I go out there. I don't even remember how to get there, to tell you the truth. It's been so long since I've had to actually run there. Banished. I'm hitting all the banished tonight. I'm okay with that. Going to bed? Sleep well. Davis. Come on, Shadow Poo. No poo. Side of beef, though. Mahogany. Green seeds. We'll get around to doing all this stuff someday. Trying to free up some more time so I can get some of this stuff done, but MMOs require so much time. Even this one where things are kind of accelerated. Bells are on stamp. I like going north once I get here. Just go as far north as I can before the buffs run out. Eviscerator. My favorite ultimately, the Eviscerators. They're so much fun. Yankee. That I like to put armor rending on these, on Cathars, because the pierce rending is kind of wasted for your first hit. Your first hit's always a slash because you do a full power hit when you first start. I'm in Crystal Portal. What's that go to? I forget. Big kitties. They never drop anything. Just kill them because they're there. They're fun to kill. Manugas are quickly becoming one of my favorite things to fight. I mentioned before on the retail server, Manugas never dropped anything. They really just weren't worth the effort because their loot sucked. But with the changing of the loot tables on most of the emulated servers, and this one in particular, they drop the same stuff that anybody else does. Plus Manugat. Now, what do we got here? Ultimately worker. Yeah. I am doing well, Dispersing. How are you doing? Thanks for asking. Bananas. Quite a few. Oh man, I keep getting encoding overloaded errors. It's just not my night. I don't know if it's OBS or what. I was using the Streamlabs OBS last night, and it was not giving notifications. No, this one keeps, the encoding keeps overloading, whatever the hell that means. Anything interesting in the news today? Weekends are always so dead in the news. Nothing fun ever happens. Did you see all those protests in England? They're still doing the Tommy Robinson thing. I'm glad they're sticking with it. Glad they didn't get bored. These guys are weak to slash, and I don't have a slashing weapon. You think? You think? There's a freaking genius for you. Wouldn't be bad if they were like encouraging them to better themselves or anything like that, but they're not. They're just, you know, continue to be homeless. We'll continue to support your homelessness. Don't try to better yourself, because we'll just keep giving you free handouts rather than, you know, some kind of job training or something. You know, put them to work. You know, if you're going to spend money on feeding them and supporting them and whatnot, give them a job with the city. Make them city workers. They can walk around sweeping streets. I don't even care if it's something that needs to be done, as long as they're doing something. You know what I mean? Instead of just draining resources. I mean, I sympathize with the folks who, you know, get stuck in these situations, whose lives bottom out like this. But there's always something you can do. All those government buildings have windows that need washed. All those streets need to be swept. Yeah, making it a shithole for everybody else that has to live there. But screw them. You know, that's where I'm at right now. Screw them. They keep pushing for these hyper-liberalized policies, these progressive policies, and it keeps blowing up in their faces, and then they just do it again and again and again. They don't learn from it. You can't help people like that. Because they're being willfully stupid, willfully ignorant of the evidence right in front of their face. The progressive, not the homeless people. I mean the people that are putting these policies into place to help the homeless people. And they want everybody else to pay for it. It's easy to make all these policies when you're not the one that has to pay for it, when you're using somebody else's money. But I'm of the opinion that California decided to choose a path, the entire state. You know, and I feel sorry for the folks, yourself included, who are caught in the middle of it. Oh, ding. But you're never going to have a voice there. Your voice is never going to be heard as long as California remains California. So yeah, don't read any of this as a reflection on you. I'm gonna take that. You just happen to be trapped in it. And you live in a state where you effectively have no voice. Perp! Thanks for the host, Perp. Lord, that has a little bit of everything in it. Blade, acid, flame, bludgeon, piercing. The only thing it's missing is frost. That's kind of nice. Low armor level though, so we don't care. It will collapse someday. They will run out of other people's money eventually. And, shit. Banishment Nuga, but there's also a bunch of bugs there. I just don't want to mess with them. I just don't want to deal with them. They're not hard, I just don't want to deal with them. Screw it. I don't want to deal with those guys either. I'm just going to run past all this shit. And let it keep going until the money does run out. The federal government should stop giving them subsidies too. If you're going to ignore federally mandated rules regarding immigration and whatnot, then you don't get any more money. If you're going to ignore federally mandated rules, even though I don't agree with these, regarding drug use and whatnot, then you don't get any more government money, federal government money. Then that'll cut down on the overhead for the federal government. Then we can stop paying more taxes to them. Then the local governments can, well, maybe that's how we can do it. Even though I don't agree with the agendas that they're pushing, I'm gonna take that just because. Maybe that's a good way to get the federal government out of state government legislation. Bring it back to the states again. Just start ignoring everything that they do that your state doesn't agree with. And you're going to take the hit financially by not getting those government subsidies, federal government subsidies. But you'll be free to run your state how you see fit. And if you're willing to do that, and if the progressives can do it, why can't the more conservative states do it? Then we can slowly just start working them out of the picture. Because this stuff isn't going to happen in a big splash. It's going to be a nickel and dime thing. The same way they seize the power is the same way they're going to lose the power. A little bit here, a little bit there. Unless there's like some mass revolution in the country. And I just don't see people being that organized anymore, or that motivated. Not anymore. The days of the revolution are over. You'll have small pockets of resistance, but it won't be anything large. Come on. We've lost our way. I don't know that we'll ever be able to find it again. Yep. No, they won't do it for serving a day's bread. They'll do it for an iPhone. Too many carbs and bread. I know what you mean. Just being a little facetious, but yeah, I need to get out to Fort Teth soon so I can get higher wield requirement weapons. Oh, joy, crystal golem. What do we got out here? Brandy's servant, multi worker, stupid manugas. Nothing, nothing, nothing. We'll go punch this guy in the head. The really terrifying part about this whole progressive thing is they've got it to the point now where sons will turn on fathers and daughters will turn on mothers to promote an agenda. They've caused such division that even within the family unit, the strongest core unit of our society, there's no more cohesion, there's no more unity. Once that's gone, it's gone. And let's be honest, that's gone. Parents aren't parents anymore. Kids have no respect for their parents anymore. Parents don't deserve the respect in the first place anymore. I hear some of the horror stories about the folks that the girlfriend works with, and their dealings with their children, and how they just seem to resent having children so much. They can't wait to shove them off into daycare and shove them off with the babysitter or with the mother-in-law or whatever, so they can go clubbing. I'm sorry, but if you have kids, you shouldn't be clubbing. Your clubbing days are over when you decide to breed. Hori Madakar. You know, if you're a religious bent, that's a good angle to take. But, you know, the simple fact of the matter is your parents, assuming they did the job that they were required to do when they gave birth to you, sacrificed a lot for your upbringing. At least they should have. So you're kind of honor bound to repay that debt, at least to some degree. Big freaking... Oh, get out of here. Jesus, right on the monitor. And, that's assuming your parents are worthy of that. Because most modern parents simply just aren't. I'm sure there's a point I'm trying to make here, and I keep getting distracted by the things I'm killing. Shit, I gotta go. My buffs are almost ready to drop. This is why I want to be able to self-buff, so I can just keep running and running and running without worrying about all this shit. But I gotta get to that point first. You have to work for it. Yeah. Well, that's all the protests in England were about this weekend, about his visit. And I don't even know why in hell they would protest him. He has no bearing on their lives whatsoever. None. He doesn't sign off on any legislation that will affect their lives whatsoever, except for any possible trade deals. But he did make it painfully evident that if they keep dragging their feet on Brexit, that there won't be any trade deals. Because then they'll just be lumped in with the rest of the EU. And, you know, good for him for doing so. Now, it wasn't forcing their hand, it was just letting them know the consequences of their choices. And that's one thing progressives don't like to hear, that their choices have consequences. Because they don't have to face them. You don't have to face consequences. You can have kids now, and you don't have to raise them. Between daycare, school, before and after school programs, you don't even have to be a parent anymore. It's optional. The state will take care of it. Shit, I forgot to sell those. Bugger. Bugger, bugger, bugger. What are we going to do? I'm thinking. It's become cool to hate on Trump, and that's why most people do it. They have no reason for hating on Trump, and I'm not trying to stick up for the guy. I'm not, because he does a lot of shit that I don't like. No, he's president of the United States. He's going to do shit that I don't like. I hated Obama, despised Obama. But throughout his entire term, 2 terms, I hoped for nothing more than him to do a good job by this country, to do right by this country. I was always disappointed, but I always hoped that he would do well. Trump could totally fix the economy, wipe out racism, eliminate poverty, homelessness, hunger, worldwide, bring peace to the world, and he would still be the most evil man on the face of the planet. He is, like him or hate him, he is the candidate that the Founding Fathers envisioned when they were putting this whole nonsense together. He's the type of man that they wanted running for president because he has a vested interest in the health and well-being of this country. Politicians don't. Politicians have a vested interest in the health and well-being of government. That's where their money comes from. But when you're a business person in the United States, and then you get into an elected office, you're going to try to make sure that the United States does well economically, if nothing else. But no, hell, they're talking about Hillary running again. Fucking retards. Swear to God. How's that look? Does that look too stupid? Yeah, it kind of does. I believe that they are involved in a hell of a lot of coincidences. No fat. No fat. It's really hard to say. And I don't believe in coincidences. So does that answer your question? I believe she straight up ordered the killing of some of these people. There's just too many. The doctor who stabbed himself in the chest right before he was getting ready to testify on the Haiti thing. Seth Rich. How many suicides by double tap to the back of the head have been committed? All ruled suicide. And they'll never bring her up on charges of any of it. They're exempt. Because of the actions of Comey, they can't even be. She can't even be brought up on charges for anything that she's done now. The illegal email server, which is the least of her crimes, she's been exonerated from it. She'll never see jail time as a result of that. And that's the least of the things that she's done. Human trafficking, murder, drugs, you name it. They've dipped their toes in it at some point or another. And if not directly, then at least they've allowed it to happen through their agency. I keep forgetting to watch that dispersing. It's so hard for me to remember from hearing it to the end of the stream. It's something I do want to watch, but I always forget to watch it. I mean, I fairly safe bet that I'm aware of most of the things that they're going to discuss. But those things are important. It's important to have those little documentary type things put together for the normies. You know what I mean? The people that don't take the extra effort to read up on this stuff. It's terrifying, and that's what a lot of it is. People don't want to read up on this stuff because they don't want to know the truth. They don't want to know how bad it really is because it's uncomfortable, and it's going to mean that they've made bad choices in life by throwing their lot in with people who really don't have your best interests at heart. Being played a fool, basically, and a lot of people don't like to be played a fool. My dad is a prime example. He's a very logical, level-headed kind of guy. He doesn't want to believe in things like the Federal Reserve. What led me back to Dareth? I jumped back on the retail servers right about 6 months before they brought them down. Of course, we didn't know they were bringing them down. But that's when I jumped back on. And then they brought them down, and I was really bummed out about it, because I just got my house, I just got my trade mules all up and running. Quick loot, quick loot, quick loot. And then P started his work, with the server that he was working on. And I popped on, to watch the progress, but when he first started doing it, there was zero progress. It was a naked character running around a naked world. But I wanted to stay there just so that when it was ready, I could hop back on, because this was my first MMO, and it's always been my favorite. And then the Reef Call folks got theirs up and running after P shut his down, and it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. And then Zeus put the Fizzle servers together. Well, Zeus and other folks. I don't, you know, it wasn't just Zeus. And there was a good bunch of folks on this server. Very small community. You knew who it was that you were playing with, or you know, playing at the same time as, because I don't play with anybody. And they were very welcoming, and that's why I just made Fizzle Classic my home. Then when they started doing the Classic server, of course, I was all over that. And I played for a while, and then you know, after I reformatted my computer, I didn't get it installed, because I also do EverQuest on the weekends, usually, and occasionally or frequently during the week as well. But then Zeus came back in and guilt tripped me, and so now here we are. It didn't take much convincing. This is why I like to loot. I don't even care if I get good loot, I just like looting. But you can't loot in dungeons. Spawn rates are too high. So I'm going to make my way up, run outside. If I was just here to level and grind out levels, yeah, that'd be great, but that's not what I'm here for. Excuse me, fellas. Excuse me, fellas. Excuse me, fellas. Ah, get away. Goddamn bugs. Now I'm lost. But AC will always be my home. My server, my game of preference. Chameleon. Red jade. I had a plan, it didn't work out. I had a really nice bludgeon weapon that would just allow me to mow through these things. And I tried to tink it up a little bit and I blew it up. So now I'm back to something that's less than ideal. Yeah, it's a bit retro. But so many games are going into that cel-shaded look, and the simpler. They're getting back to simple again, and I kind of like that. And you know, this kind of stuff falls right into place with that. It's tempting to cram as many graphics into your game as you possibly can, but what they fail to realize is a very small percentage of your customer base is actually going to be able to run the game on full graphics if you do that. Which means you're alienating all those other gamers out there that, you know, for whatever reason, you know, families, you know, crappy jobs, whatever, don't have the resources available to build and maintain a high-end computer. So sure, you know, make your games with the ridiculously high requirements, but realize you're only going to sell to a very small fraction of your potential audience. I love games, but I love my family more. So I'm not going to take money away from the family to dump into a computer for better gameplay, you know. I just want to play your game. There's a million one other games out there I can play. And hell, there's no MMOs that are coming out recently that make me, that even have me remotely curious. That's why I keep playing all these old games. There's nothing new. There's nothing out there. If it was worth my while to upgrade my computer to play your game, sure I would. That's what I did when this came out. Alright. Hey, no FAP. No FAP. You gotta stick to your moniker. Aren't you one of our Gaming Life folks? Weren't you on Gaming Life? I could have sworn I saw you in there. Is that C9 that I see? Thank you for the follow. I got way too many notifiers. I gotta start downsizing on some of those. And there will be a notification that pops up in the stream too. I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. There it is. It's very quiet though. I don't know why that is. I don't know. I gotta stop messing with shit. I should just get it dialed in and leave it alone. Be right back. Maybe I'll stream that one of these nights, dispersing. Just pop that video in there and take my copyright strike like a man. and we can all watch it together. Yep, there he is, C9. He's in the Discord. One of our young up-and-comers trying to get into the streaming business. 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 Who would have thought? 20 years ago. Yeah, he is. He is. What's going on, Danny? Got more magma golems? Yes, I love magma golems. I have a love-hate relationship with magma golems. Yo, yo, Whitey, what's going on? I get these to fuel the mana stones. No other reason. Usually jewelry's worth more, but in this tier it's just not all that valuable. Oh really? Yeah, I freed up a character slot, so I'm gonna have to get the stuff that I have Thompson holding. And spread that around. It's good warrior gear. There we go. Come on, overload that encoder. New character, what are you making? Tommy just made an SK. I feel the need to have a dark elf character, and I don't know why. Shaman. Oh man. You're a better man than I am if you can make a shaman. I can't do it. Dark Elf Lives Matter. Blue Lives Matter. Wizard, oh my god. Wizard's rough. Wizard is really rough. Come on, damn it. Every time it loads a new land block, my encoder gets overloaded, whatever the hell that means. A lot of that's just because it's an emulated server, so it's not 100% optimized. That's fun. If you're going to do that, though, don't play a shaman. Don't play a wizard. Wizards are rough to start out with. I made one, got him up to like level 8, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Just couldn't do it anymore. I don't know what the hell this Tusker's doing. Are you done? Done dancing? One shot. Very nice. Maybe 1,000 for those. So how you doing, Tommy? You alright? Heard you took a little tumble at the pool. Red Garnet. Fighting Strike, +5 now. You did? Oh, man. You need to be careful, dude. You need to stop fucking around. Seriously. I'm not going to lecture you, but quit fucking around. What was that over there? Stupid shit. I love this little spot. Love this little spot. I can spend all day up here just killing this shit. It did, Prana. It did. This is an emulator. Emulated server. This is the Fizzle Classic server. One of a few that are currently up and running. Really need to start linking it. Yep. Yep. Yes, you do. It's this one is a more classic version of the game. It's pre-TOD content, Throne of Destiny content. Smaller population, I guess. But you know, Reef Call is close to it was on retail when it got shut down. Yeah, I agree. So if you want something that was closer to retail, you want to go Reef Call. If you want something that was closer to the original game before, you know, the weapon skill merge and whatnot. This is Asheron's Call. Fuck Google. Oh, that's cool. Lots of gaming time, Tommy. So, depending on what flavor you want, there are several different available. There's red servers, there's white servers. Pretty much anything you want. This one has all the weapon skills as they were back in the early days. You know, sword and dagger, unarmed, all that stuff. Reef Call has the condensed skills, light weapons, finesse weapons, etc. 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 EQ, I do every weekend on EQ. Fridays and Saturdays guaranteed. Google. Fuck. Google. Thanks for the name, by the way. It makes it really, really easy. And then, you know, throughout the week as people, you know, request it, kind of thing. What level am I? 59. I'm taking my time. I'm savoring it. Savoring it. No macros, no nothing. Just me beating on bad guys until they're dead. I'm going to savor every minute of this, and I'm not going to spoil it with macros or nothing. Not really grinding. I don't do a lot of grinding. I just play. Levels happen in this game. So this server has the XP rates tweaked a little bit. So it's not as much of a grind. The biggest problem this server ran into was all the servers are allowing macroing. Yeah, experience the game the way it was intended to be. I do the same thing on EverQuest though. It's maddening for a lot of people. Because I won't sit in a dungeon all night and just kill the same thing over and over again, so it drives people insane. But there's so much to do, so much to see. And I don't want to miss any of it. And this could very well be my last opportunity. Hey, thanks, Tommy. But the biggest problem this server ran into, the population really started to grow for a while there after we started streaming it. But then everybody immediately fired up the macros, then they'd go and watch a movie while their character leveled without them, and they all had max level characters and realized that there's really just nothing to do anymore. You got a max level character. I mean, you get them a set of gear, and really at that point, all it is farming materials for tinkering. Once your character's all tinkered up with all your majors and all your spells and everything, there's really nothing left to do. So, congratulations, in 1 month you beat the game. It's not, I don't want to call it cheating. But yeah, I agree. I always try to be diplomatic. But yeah, a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into putting these games together, and I just feel it's a disservice to the people that created the game if you don't experience the game the way they intended it to be played. My opinion. Feel free to have your own. Right. If you've played every single one of your character levels, you appreciate your character more. That applies to anything, though. That applies to life in general. You don't get satisfaction out of things that are handed to you. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Microsoft were the first folks that produced the game. That's awesome. Now all I need to do is find a Dark Age of Camelot server, and we got the hat trick. Come on, fellas. There have been a few emulated servers up for Dark Age. Excuse all the ums. I'm sure there's still a few floating around. I just have to put some time and research into it. I've never played it, so I don't know all that much about Dark Age. That's why I want to play it now. It's not really my cup of tea. It's very PvP oriented. That's why I never played it back in the day. Drudge noises, yeah. Try going into a dungeon full of Google. I'm calling you Google. I'm not calling you fuck. Sorry. Gets maddening after a while. Screaming drudges. I agree with the sentiments of your name, but I don't want to repeat it during the stream too often. Not that I have a problem with the swearing part or anything like that. But I don't know. Protocols must be observed. Dark Age came out, I was still having fun with this, so I didn't see any reason to jump ship for another game if I was already having fun with the game I was currently on. And then by the time I started getting, I don't want to say bored, but bored with this and EverQuest, City of Heroes came out. Oh man, that was my jam for a while. Love that game. Love that game. Oh, excuse me. Spent a lot of time playing City Heroes. I play them all the same way though. I don't grind. I explore. I experience. I savor the moments. Because as we're all learning, those moments aren't going to be around forever. I play, right. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. I thought that was the point. Apparently I'm mistaken on that matter, but whatever. Teach their own. You know, I don't judge people who do it, do it the macro way. I just feel they're cheating themselves, really. A little bit of both. A little bit of both, Prana. The philosophies are transferable. I treat life the same way. I try to experience it as much as I can. Try to enjoy it and get as much out of it as I can. In my own way. In my own way. Let's see. Aquamarine is Frost. Forgot about that one. These were put in the game practice stabs. We're put in the game for whatever reason. Oh, Gauntlet upgrade. Right. On a Flamebane though. Well, it's the right color. They're only supposed to be there as a placeholder, but now they're stuck. Yeah. Alright, Prana, thanks for stopping by. And thanks for the good conversation. That's what we're here for. Or that's what I'm here for. Sleep well. Dream of a world full of drudges. And thank you for the follow. Every night at 11 o'clock. Eastern time. Notifications are turned way down. I don't know why. Let's go. No, wait. We got a rebuff. We got 5 minutes left. Alright, let's just go do that. I don't know if you're still here, Google, but this came out right after EverQuest did. Just a matter of months. EverQuest beat him to the punch. And if it wasn't for that, everybody would have been playing Asheron's Call instead of EverQuest. But I'm kind of glad it worked out the way it did. So I don't think Turbine would have had the cojones to have 1 million subscribers, you know, to be the first to 1 million. Although I do think they put out a better product. And I think it was a more committed, dedicated design team. I mean, they put out content every month. Every month. Every month the storyline advanced. Every month there was new content. Every month everybody got excited about patch day. Go ahead and sell those. And I'm going to equip those. Give those to the town crier. I'll upgrade my shoes too, apparently. Creature enchantment's the one I'm trying to raise first, because that's the one that you use to do the bulkier buffs. And then item in life, of course. But if you have a high creature skill, you can buff your skills to give you a higher item in life skill. See? So it's always more efficient to start with creature. Okay, I'll be back in just a moment. I gotta hit the head. Too much coffee. Kumunga has logged in. Alright, let's buff it up. Hey, thanks for helping me get my account sorted out, Mr. Zeus. Oh, shit, I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. Yeah, I do. Do I? Yeah, screw it, let's go there. I was in near panic mode. That account has my Tinker Mule on it. And after getting it done, I got my crappy little lightning guitar tinked up. Landed the imbue. Blew up my fire one though. But you can't win them all. Ghost Wisp. Don't want the Ghost Wisp, but I do want the obsidian golems that are sitting on the other side of them. Oh, come on, don't follow me. Wisp heart. How are you doing tonight, sir? You getting your vehicle woes sorted out? Let's go this way. We never go this way. We always go north. Such random blue wasps and wood golems up around all this big horrible stuff. Beetle top. Beetle top. I do remember Crash Bandicoot. Didn't they just make a new one not too long ago? Oh, nice, nice. My underwear ran out of mana. Come on, what are we doing here? Yeah, you know you want to play. You know you do. Can only resist it for so long. Red garnet. That's what I like to see. Get off the mountain. There's a whole lot of shadows over here. Let's see if I can peel a couple of them off. You like that? Gotta keep Xavier out of my head. Rotten bastard. really wish Kujia was better armor. At least the top half. Don't really care for the legs. No, I don't. What does it stand for? I'm assuming you wouldn't ask unless you had an answer already in mind. Touch and go. Really? Ah, he missed. Ah, he missed. Oh, no, you didn't. That's what the internet says. Well, the internet wouldn't lie. Come on, Shadow Poop. An egg. Fleshless Warrior, Skeleton Bone Knight, Revenant, lots of dead things. Zeus, for your edification, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but when people were trying to set up their decal and everything, I found that if they use the regular DAT files first, then install their decal stuff and get their dual logging thing all set up and whatnot, and then go back and do the classic patch files, classic DAT files, works a hell of a lot better. If you're still here. Locked. Somebody gave up lockpick for mana conversion. Somebody's retarded. Do I like Jordan Peterson? I don't have any issues with him. I tend to agree with him on most subjects. You know, you can't argue with his logic. I disagree with him on the religious thing, the religion thing. But I think a lot of what he says is him being diplomatic. And he does have a family. He doesn't want to ruin his career just to be edgy on the internet, you know. And I can respect that. I can appreciate that at least. Oh, he's a believer, but he takes a very logical approach to it. His stance is basically, I can't disprove it. And you can't really argue with his logic. I am going to take that for my sword, dude. Put a bandit hilt on it. Sexy, sexy. He won't flat out deny the possibility of something that he can't actually disprove. He's a scientist first and foremost. Where's that standing stone? Where's it at? There's a quest for Furor, the Furor quest. That's right. One of the standing stones is up there. Yes. You have your stats like you do any other game: strength, endurance, coordination. You know, and they affect your skills. And then from those skills, you pick some way to kill the bad guys. You know, whether it's war magic or unarmed combat or sword or staff or whatever skill you want. And then you supplement that with the magic skills. Everybody's a mage, P-Dub. Everybody in this game is a mage. Everybody should have creature enchantment, item enchantment, and life magic. And then along with that, you have mana conversion to make your spell casting more efficient. The only difference between, you know, character X and character Y is what they use to kill with. So everybody's a mage. It's just some of them take the Gandalf approach and beat everything to death with a sword, and others will use magic to kill. Yeah, arcane. Can't forget arcane lore. I always shirk my arcane lore responsibilities. Everyone is a mage. If you don't take the magic skills, you're just gimping your character. We found that out very early in the development of Asheron's Call, when it was still on retail. That if you didn't take the 3 magic skills plus mana conversion, you were just killing yourself. It's not necessary. It's not mandatory. You can play a character without it, and like Zeus said, you can use arcane lore and then get all your buffs from items. You got 4 jewelry slots, 2 clothing slots. They'll have stats plus all your armor slots. Excuse me, and these are all your different armor slots, and these are all separate slots. So you can have like a bracer and a pauldron, or you can have a sleeve that covers both slots. You can have your legs that I have that cover your abdomen, your upper legs, and your lower legs, or you can have 3 separate pieces for those slots. If you're arcane lore instead of magic based, then you're going to try to mix and match all the different pieces you can to get all your buffs from it. It just makes it really difficult when you to go through all that mixing and matching of various armor pieces and whatnot, when you can just take the magic skills and buff them. So there's different approaches you can take. You don't have to be a mage. It's strongly encouraged that you are. I mean, you don't have to take the 3 magic skills, but it's strongly encouraged that you do. My first character didn't have any magic at all. He was a sword guy. God damn it, I don't need magic. I'm a sword guy. I kill things with a sword. What the hell do I need magic for? Well, I found out very quickly. If I want to get from point A to point B, I need item magic. And or I'm going to be doing a lot of running. And I did. In the beginning, I did a lot of running. Until I swallowed my pride and took item magic. Because item magic is your transportation magic also. That's what covers all your teleports. Okay, we get to test out our new lightning Cathar on Lugens, which is why I made it in the first place. Who's got the hollow? Who's got the hollow? Nobody. Yes, we lucked out. I have no missile defense. That's what they make potions for. No, you don't have to aim melee attacks. And it's tab targeting, but it has a lot of action combat qualities to it. Because ranged attacks are you can dodge them. $142,000 for types. That's nice. I was hoping I came across one of these spawns so I could test out my new Cathar. There is PvP, and it's very dynamic. You ain't PvP'd until you AC PvP'd. It's a whole different ballgame from any other PvP you've ever taken part in. Because of the ability to dodge incoming range attacks, and most PvPers are ranged attackers of some sort, whether it's a mage or an archer. Yeah, so it's a whole different ballgame. Very active, very mobile. You're constantly dodging, bobbing and weaving, moving, sliding, you know. Minor bloodthirst. Well, we're gonna take that. I forgot these guys dropped 325 loot. It means I gotta recheck everything. Never played Terra, I don't think. I might have. I may have, but don't recall right offhand if I did or not. Magic defense. Damn it. 325 biting strike. Major Swift Hunter. Woot on unarmed. Isn't that special? Swift Hunter does nothing for unarmed. Your weapons are so fast in the first place, it doesn't provide any real benefit. And it can never go any faster than the animation will allow anyhow, so. Alluvian. Bear with me just a second, there's a lot of stuff to go through here. Well, now I'm glad I didn't go to the Lugen Citadel like I wanted to. I would have gotten wrecked. I don't have the armor for it. Played Ragnarok? No, I haven't played Ragnarok. Wait, is what a challenge? I'm confused. I was looting. What's going on? What's the point of being a frost elemental if you're not weak to fire? Seriously, it's just retarded. One thing I never liked about the elementals, they're never weak to the element they're supposed to be weak to. Banished Mumaya, another orb incoming. And the rest of this crap. Yeah, it's 6:13. I should just go and get my level 5 so I don't have to keep running back to town whenever we're out doing one of these adventures. So it really is bothersome. I want to get a Covenant shield with melee defense. Just because they're sexy looking. There's different heights of melee attacks, so there's low, medium, and high. And that's because certain creatures are weaker when you hit them low, certain creatures are weaker when you hit them high. Legions are weak in the head. Most creatures are weak in the legs. I'm just using this thing from now on. And then the elemental properties. Certain creatures are weak to fire, certain creatures aren't. So there's a lot of little things like that to keep. I do, yeah. I have that effect on people. It smells like a banished shadow up there. I was right. Mages are by far, pure mages, you know, that use war magic, are by far the most powerful classes in the game, though. Once you figure them out and figure out how to play them. They're not as gear reliant. You know, if they don't have a rending wand, they could just cast invulnerability, or vulnerability, or imperil, or whatever. They just cast a spell if they don't have the appropriate wand. Nebulous Golem. Alright, we'll kill this and we'll kill that Eviscerator, and then we'll go about our business. Do it! I will. I will. I just did it not too long ago on I think it was on your TOD server before you shifted over to Classic. Oh wait, the Helm and Nor. I'm thinking Fror. Sorry. I don't know that I ever did the Helm and Nor quest. I can't freaking do Helm and Nor. I'm only level 59. Oh man, I'm gonna kill those guys. But my buffs are running out. Once I'm suitable level, yes, by all means. Once I can self-buff. That's for the mage armor stuff, right? That's the same dungeon where you get the mage armor? No? Are you sure? Oh, okay. No, Nor. I thought Mage Academy was part of that, though. I'm confused. I don't know. I never really did the mage armor quest because I don't play mages. Never had a reason to do it. Remember when that first came out? How excited everybody was for it? That mage armor. I think that's an upgrade, but I'm not sure. It is. Oh, what's that shield? It looks like a Volkswagen Beetle hood. Is that part of the North thing too? Alright. Yeah, Halls of Nor has the, there's that melee weapon, there's that unarmed weapon, that double-bladed thing, a mace, and a shield. That you get from the 3 chests, right? Or is it a helmet that comes from the chest? Another bag of fire ending. Helm UA mace. Upgrade stones. Okay, that could be it. That's a sexy little unarmed weapon that you get out of there. Really like that. I think that's it. Yeah, the rest is just selling loot. Okay. Yeah, with your insanely high respawn rates, I don't know if I'll be able to do solo that. There's all those bugs you have to go through, and then all the diamond golems, and they cast spells now, because on your TOD server, none of the golems cast spells. Remember, you didn't have spell casting on the bad guys yet? So it was a hell of a lot easier. Oh, you did drop it? And it's not a complaint, mind you. It's not a complaint. It's just it does lend itself to certain precautions one must take. Let's see if I can blast this with fire real quick. It's not very good, but it's what I got. Yeah. I went to the Bandit Castle OHN just a little while ago. Wasn't able to loot at all. Just can't kill him fast enough. Okay, bear with me for just a second. I'll blow up another unarmed weapon. Well, howdy do. I just need a fire-ending weapon, so I'm just tinkering anything that's even remotely viable. Right, look at that, look at that. Not bad for a white boy, is it? Oop, wrong one. Now I'm going to blow it up. That's good enough. Don't want to tempt fate. Alright, you can go now. That's 2 imbues tonight. We finally got rid of that damn thing. It's only a 300 wield, but I'll take it. God, losing a lot of attack and melee defense, though. Huh. It's an upgrade damage-wise. Much smaller variants. Well, I'll take it. Rending is always better. It doesn't have any biting strike or anything like that, does it? Fire ending. No. Oh well. I will take it. That makes me happy. Hot and all over your keyboard. Morning, dude. How's things going? You just missed it. I just landed in view on my weapon. It's very exciting. It's only maximum 33% chance of success, no matter how high your skill is. So, 2 out of every 3 are going to blow up, and I hit 2 tonight. 2 out of 3. I did my lightning one earlier, and then fire one just now. So, neither of them are ideal, but they're better than what I had. So, I'll take it. Should transfer this stuff over too. All that stuff's got to get muled. Hardest part about doing this whole streaming thing is having this microphone right in your face all night. What are we doing? What are we doing? Holberg. I guess I could have just done it here too. I want to try out my new toy. That is a fun quest though, Zeus. I will do that at some point. If you're still here. I don't even know if you're still here. The Halls of Nor. I think tomorrow during the day I'm going to go and get all my level 5s and 6s for this guy. But I'm going to get a coffee right now, so I'll be right back. There's the man. Sorry, earphone users. Did I get it? Yeah, got it. Okay, be right back. New monster detected, the chicken. Oh, shit. Where is it? I want to see it, and I want to kill it. Aw, the chicken. Oh, that's the one. There on. Yeah, there used to be one. The chicken used to be right up the road here, and he'd walk back and forth across the road. Why did the chicken cross the road? Well, that's the chicken. And that's all it would do. It would just walk back and forth across the road. hard to kill the poor little guy. That's the worst chicken model ever. They really did not apply themselves when they designed that chicken. But it does answer the question where all the chicken came from. It's one of the big questions players used to have. We're making all this food with chicken, but there's no chickens in the game. So they added chickens to the game. Alright, I will come down and smite you if it'll make you feel better. This particular type of Ulthoi, the flying ones, they're not really weak to anything. So it doesn't really matter what you use on them. It just takes forever to kill them. Alright, we need targets. Banished Tusker? Problem. Nope, slave. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. Oh, my jeans just got a little tight from that. Oh, that's so much better. Kill all the soldiers. Oh, my life just got so much easier. Why do I keep looking at the armor? I know I'm not going to use any of it. So used to tab targeting, I keep hitting tab. Ashron's Call, when you hit tab, it puts you in the chat mode. You could remap it, I suppose. Damn dirty ape. Ding. So nice. It was so nice with that. This thing, I was just sitting there chop, 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 chop. It took forever. Do need to upgrade my shoes. I want something better than that. Alright. Happy guy. There's so many things in the game that are weak to fire that if you don't have a good fire-ending weapon, life is just very difficult. Or any fire-ending weapon, really. Doesn't even have to be a good one. Fire and bludgeon. Still need a good bludgeon rending wand, or weapon. But that's not going to happen until I start finding white sapphire. Eviscerator, my favorite. See, with the bludgeon rending Cestus, he would have been dead in like 3 or 4 hits. That's the difference the rending makes. Holy loot. Red garnet, and that's what does it. That's fire ending. Banished Fintosh Wasp. It amuses me how the smallest banished creature drops the biggest banished weapon. Banished Legion. The wiki says that Banderlings are weak to fire, but I think in lightning works better. Ulthoy Noble. Leveled twice tonight, I believe. Doesn't happen very often. Melee defense 300. I think we found our shield. It's a good bug shield, too. Excuse me. Alright. Now I just gotta get my melee defense 300 base. I got about 20... about 17 points to go. Oh, excuse me. Most elusive creature in the game is the wolf. There aren't any, but you hear him howling all the time. We got monkeys. Oh man, that just makes me happy. Nothing. Another snowflower. Fragments, fragments everywhere. Crushing blow and biting strike. Yeah, we'll put a bandit hilt on that. That thing's going to be ridiculous. Has no stats though, but that's okay. It'll be a fun little project for our sword guy. I didn't even know that was possible. Okay, here we go. Whoa! Going for the nuclear option. There's our big guy. There it is. Banish Mumaya again. Damn, 350. Why? Why are level 26 tomb rocks up here? Well, how about that? Lots of fragments tonight. Now I just need the shadow poo to go with it. That's much easier to find though. There's a lot of shadow dungeons. There's not too many fragment dungeons. Wow, looky looky. Not bad GSA in no time. We got 8 minutes left on our buffs. Magma Golem Exarch. Or, my bad, Glacial Golem Margrave. Yeah, I didn't think they dropped anything worthwhile. Now we're just trying to get that guy. This is another guy that drops a lot of loot. Be right with you, Kenshiro. I got a lot of loot to go through here. Alright, now what? I love how Democrats crow about Russian vote. Yeah, isn't that funny? Them damn Russians. We're going to give them 20% of our uranium assets, but Trump's using those Russians. Yeah, that was kind of funny. That party's exploding, and so I do take a certain amount of satisfaction in that. The Democrat Party is imploding. It's feeding on itself. So I just hope they keep doing what they're doing. Maybe we're going to see the rise of a third party finally. They were so quick to jump to the defense of Strzok during that congressional hearing. But just have a feeling that's going to blow up in their faces. Did you watch that? That was amazing. Well, what was sickening about the whole thing, though, was how quick they were to jump to his defense. The Democrats on the committee. It's like he had a whole room full of Democratic defense attorneys. Violating as much protocol as they possibly could just so that he didn't have to answer any questions. Because they know that if the truth starts getting out, every single one of them is going to be held complicit in crimes. They're all involved. To some degree or another, you know, whether it's just a minor involvement or a major involvement, they're all involved. Even if it's just a conspiracy thing. Did you see his look when he was sitting there? He was just sitting there staring. It wasn't even a smug look. He was just staring right at Stork while Stork was making his final statement after the... he says, "You know you're lying. I know you're lying. And you're not fooling me. I'm not stupid. I've been in this position many times in the past. I know when somebody's lying on the stand. So you just keep digging your hole. Because you are under oath. And we will get you for perjury. We will make something stick." I think Comey did so much damage to that investigation, though, that it's just beyond... salvaging at this point. But every single Democrat in that room should be held accountable. And probably half the Republicans too. I don't want to make this a one-sided issue. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, side chick. It was funny how they diplomatically referred to her. Yeah, they have such a hard-on for Trump. Prior to him running for freaking president, he was a Democrat. He was a New York Democrat. And that's what they all fail to remember. He is a Democrat. He's not a Republican. There's nothing Republican about Trump. He just ran as a Republican because he knew he could get the nod. You're not going to get the nod away from Hillary. So stupid. But I'm glad they are that stupid, because then we can use it to our advantage. And I hate sounding so divisive too, because we're all Americans. We're all subject to the same stupid shit that they put out. Go ahead, push your agendas, but you have to live with it too. You think you're going to be exempt from these things, but you're not. You're beholden to the same set of laws that I am. And this stuff does blow up in your face, no matter how much you want to believe it's not going to. And it has, repeatedly. How many times have they had to live with the consequences of their actions? You want to do campaign reform? Fine, but that affects the Democrats too. You may get a slight advantage out of this election cycle. But come next election cycle, the Republicans are going to use that shit right back against you again. And you're stupid if you think otherwise. You should watch it. It's a textbook definition of a travesty of justice. It was awful. I was embarrassed to be an American that day. Watching these Democrats just do anything they could to make it so that he didn't have to answer any questions. It was embarrassing. Alright, we got 11 million. So there's 10 points in item, 10 points in life. We got 5 million left. It's not enough for anything. 10 points in focus. Oh, we can cast 5s. 300. 6s is 300, right? People should be outraged, honestly. It's come to the point now, and I mentioned this earlier. Let me take these off, it's distracting. There is no more accountability in our government. None whatsoever. They can run roughshod over us now. And they're proving that every time they have one of these congressional hearings, that they flout the laws. They don't apply to them. They can get away with literal murder. And we, as American citizens, should be ashamed for allowing it to happen. And it's come to that point where reform isn't going to happen. A much stronger hand is needed in the process. And rules were put in place to govern that. If it comes to the point where your government is no longer representative of you and your wishes and the health and well-being of your nation, it's your responsibility as a citizen of this nation to fix it. Now there's rules about calling out certain things, so I'm not going to go that far, but that's the point where we're at now. It's just so much effort has been put into separating the American population, along ideological lines, along political lines, along social lines, whatever. Everybody's got their own little pocket now, so there's no unity. Last time this nation saw unity was 9/11, and that only lasted 48 hours. But it's come to that point where we have to come together. We have to take it back, or lose it forever. There is no tomorrow. Oh, excuse me. We ain't going to fix this by protesting. We're not going to fix this by carrying signs and screaming and hollering. Those days are long gone. That time has passed. They're not afraid of us anymore, and we got to remind them that they should be. String a couple of them up, they'll start changing their tune. Good for them. Good for China. Not that I'm necessarily opposed to Trump's trade war. I think he's doing a good thing there. But part of that whole process is ending our reliance on foreign oil too. We have plenty of oil in the United States. We don't need to buy it from Saudi Arabia. There's no reason why we can't just use our own resources. Bring it back home. Bring it all back home. Close down all those foreign military bases. Close down all that shit and just bring it all back home. Rebuild, restructure, reorganize, and then rejoin the world again after we get our own shit sorted out. But that's not going to happen until the restructuring happens. That's a symptom of the deeper problem. You know, our trade deficit, our dealings with foreign nations, our reliance on Saudi oil, our kowtowing to the Israelis, all these things are issues that need to be resolved. Symptoms of a much larger problem. And the Fed. That's a great place to start. Get rid of the Fed. It has to start with getting rid of the Federal Reserve. It has to. I'm not saying that's the sole reason for all the mishaps that are, you know, or all the bad decisions that the United States is making. I'm glad they are. Iran is one of the few remaining nations that aren't part of the world banking system. They have their own national banking system that's separate from the rest of the world's banking systems. Iran, Syria. They're the only North Korea. They're the only three remaining nations that aren't part of the world banking system. Of course, that's who we're looking to blow up. Trump's taking a different approach, so he's trying diplomatic means to bring North Korea in, whereas, you know, Obama and Hillary, they just want to blow everything up. You know, that's what they did in Libya. That's what they did in Yemen. You know, you either go by the rules that we establish, or, you know, we blow you up. You go back through the recent history of the United States and all these countries that we've attacked, and look at how many of them were part of that world banking system prior to us attacking. It's going to be a pretty small number. And that's not a party thing. That's a government thing. That's our government answering to the Federal Reserve. Get rid of that albatross around our neck, and a lot of our problems will go away just from that. Be able to take control of our currency again. EU is a prime example of the importance of an economy with as far as a nation goes. They thought they were getting a good deal with this whole EU thing. It was taking all these disparate countries and bringing them together to form a nice big trade bloc, the European Union. That's what it was intended for. None of them had the foresight to realize that if somebody controls your freaking money, they control your freaking country. So now they're all, you know, sucking Germany's dick because Germany controls all the money. Germany controls the EU. Well, in a sense. Germany's still controlled by the central governing body, the unelected officials that control that whole process. But isn't it funny how it always ends up, and this is no offense, Gathorn, if you're still here. What's the deal with Germany? Why is it always at the center of all these things? Well, we had some issues. I think Streamlabs went down. Hold on, I got to reset some stuff here. There we go. And what's this one over here? I didn't even realize that happened. Sorry about that. All my little doodads timed out. Yeah, yeah. And, you know, nothing's truer. You control the money, you control the nation. There's a reason why they pushed so hard since the founding of the United States, why they pushed so hard to get that central banking system in place. They've tried so many times in the past, and it was either rejected outright or implemented and then quickly removed by the next president to come in. But then Wilson came along and shoved it right up our asses. And it's been screwing us ever since. I mean, you can blame the Federal Reserve for us being involved in World War II. Because honestly, that war had nothing to do with us. It had no effect on us. Hitler wasn't coming over the United States. He wasn't crossing the ocean. He was just worried about Europe. He was just worried about making German home for Germans again. Well, and he wanted Austria to become part of it. You know, whatever. But that war had nothing to do with us. It wouldn't have affected us in any way, shape, or form. We had no business getting involved. Why do you guys come in with these good conversations at 2:30 in the freaking morning? That's what I want to know. Where were you at 11 o'clock? When I was awake. Fluid dynamics. I have no idea what that is. Does that have something to do with the car's hydraulic system? I've heard the term, but I have no idea what it is. But that will have to be a conversation for another time, because I'm getting tired. I want to go to bed. So I am going to wrap up here. I'm going to be back on AC tomorrow night. My chat has no filters. I deleted all filters from my chat, so people are free to say anything they want. My only rule is they don't attack other chatters. They can attack me all they want. Amongst one another, I appreciate them keeping it civil, because we're here to talk. We're here to discuss. All that hostility is what's caused all this problem in the first place. So it's nice to have these little islands of free speech where people can voice their opinions no matter what they are. You know, whether you agree with me or not, I don't care. But my hair looks outstanding. Alright, I'm going to bed. Thanks for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow night with Asheron's Call. Probably going to be playing this guy again, because I want to get him so that he can self-buff. I'll go out and buy all my spells tomorrow during the day before I start streaming. See you tomorrow, and sleep well.